Welcome to the Crewcast, the Crew's live podcast about video games and all things Crew. Join us and many of your favorite crew members as we review games, talk about the new Crew series, answer your questions, and much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Crewcast.
Welcome to episode 32 of the Crewcast for the 8th of February 2014, and today we have myself, Belboz, Giz, and Piper, and we'll go straight into the main news.
Alright, first story. Did you guys hear that? You hear that screaming? That's the sound. That's the sound of PS4 fans screaming no. Microsoft has bought the rights to Gears of War. Lots of PS4 fans were hoping that this was going to be, because it was being teased that this was the franchise was going to go on both consoles, because this was not a Microsoft-owned franchise. Now it is. And I guess that's a pretty safe bet. It means that you're not going to see Gears of War move to the PS4 at any point in the future.
That kind of sucks, but also, I mean, Gears of War has pretty much, except the one PC one, has always been a Xbox exclusive. So really, it's not too much of a change. I mean, I hadn't realised that was going to be a PS4 at some point, but obviously it's not. But I mean, to me, that just seems natural. Exclusives are going to be exclusives, aren't they? I would prefer them to be both consoles, but hey-ho.
I'm just happy that they're making another one because I love the series, and the fact that it's still just going to be on Xbox doesn't bother me at all.
I always thought Gears of War was going to be a trilogy as well. I haven't played the last one, so obviously spoilers for story, but I was always assuming it was going to be a trilogy, then kind of kept making them.
But isn't that what every game is?
Yeah, but it is like the story is a trilogy, and then the fourth game is a prequel, and it's not like the actual story is a trilogy, and then ones after that are just sort of like spin-off stuff. Well, there's only one after that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, in Halo it was kind of supposed to be done, but then, Bungie I think Bungie was kind of done with it and thought this was kind of it. Then Microsoft, buys it, exclusive rights to it or whatever. Now some of the ex-Bungie guys going to work on the new title, and obviously Bungie doing something different, which almost looks like Halo in a sense to me. It's the same genre, which always kind of funny when they say they're getting away from stuff, but then it seems like they go right back to almost the same thing, just no Master Chief. All right, so let's move on. Minecraft Snapshot, yet another snapshot came out today. As we film this, today is the 6th. Not a lot of big hitter items. I mean, I think they're bug fixing a lot of the stuff we previously talked about. The spectating, which when I talked about this a couple weeks ago on our previous podcast, I said that I would really love a spectator option where I don't have to be flying around to everybody and just be invisible. And it does let you look through the eyes of players and mobs even, so that's really cool. Not a big fan so far of how it's implemented. You have to actually see the character on your screen, right click them or left click them or whatever, and then you can view through their eyes, which means you have to go to the player. The good thing is, I will almost bet you that some Bukkit developer, once Bukkit supports this snapshots, like when they go to an official version of Minecraft, once Bukkit supports it, somebody will write a plugin to enhance the current spectator plugins or a new one, and probably allow you to spectate players, hopefully with a command at a minimum. Would be really cool for some type of user interface that you could scroll or do something to jump through players. So, very nice that they did more than I had hoped they did. But I would really wish there was a way to scroll through people versus just have to fly to them and click on them. Because that really sucks for say, Game of Craft or Ultra Hardcore. if I want to spectate one team or the other, I have to fly or teleport to a person, then spectate them. It'd be nice just to be able to scroll and jump through people's eyes.
It'll
Yeah,
be very
definitely.
useful.
Hmm.
But I mean, they're adding lots of stuff. They're fixing. I think it was. I don't know if it was Jeb or Dinnerbone, but one of them talked about working on the mob AI. So it looks like we're again going to see some changes to the mob AI. The invisible block is a popular feature. They're adding some more scoreboard stuff. I mean, they're working on all kinds of different things. I think the spectating thing is probably one of the bigger items, and then of course the invisible block is cool. But they're doing a lot of stuff to help map makers, adventure mode, and all this stuff, and just more command block stuff. So I think everything they're doing is great. So just give me the API, please, please, please. So let's talk more about Minecraft. Lots of people are buying Minecraft.
Yeah.
Over 35 million copies, and this number's probably way off. But they announced recently 14 million PC users. On the Xbox, there's 10 million users at a minimum. The Pocket Edition, at a minimum, 10 million. 1 million, over a million on the PS3, and it doesn't even been released yet it hasn't been released yet for the Vita, the PS4, or the Xbox One. So those are all going to get some sales numbers. It should be noted though that the Xbox, the PS3, and the Pocket Edition numbers are all kind of rough guesstimates. They don't factor in the holiday season. So it's definitely over 35 million, but who knows? I mean, the Xbox could be very close, say, to that 14 million of the PC. You just don't know. I find it amazing that there's that many copies of 360.
Yeah, that's insane.
But, I mean, it's just incredible how much they're selling it. Now, factor into the 360, the PS3, the Vita, the PS4, the Xbox One, all of those sales are going to have obviously huge cuts given to not only Microsoft or Sony, but also to the developer who actually works on them. The PC version and the mobile version are done by Mojang, so they'll make the most profit from those two. But they're not going to get pure profit off of the console versions and the handheld, meaning the Vita, because it's done by a third party. I'm sure they're still making a ton of money, but obviously they're making less on those. I mean, I don't see this slowing down anytime soon.
No, it's crazy. Really, really crazy. I'm sure 2 years ago we were saying, oh yeah, we'll make some Minecraft videos. It won't get that big, or it won't continue being this popular. And it's still skyrocketing. It's just amazing.
So big kudos to Notch and the crew there. Obviously Jeb, Dinnerbone, and others. I mean, they're doing a great job. The sales just don't stop. They're licensing in it for all these platforms. You see stores that carry Minecraft merchandise, so they're licensing all that type of stuff. I won't be surprised if there's not a Minecraft cartoon here at some point.
Oh, you know what? We're really bad. I would probably watch that religiously.
So I mean, it's incredible to see what this game has spawned into and continues to go. I've always assumed at some point it's going to lose some interest. It's going to be kind of somebody's going to step up and do it, maybe with better graphics, lower or better frame rates and stuff, and push maybe Mojang to do like a Minecraft 2, or just the fact that they're having to continually give out free updates to all of these people who bought. They keep selling it, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But if the sales ever do drop off, they're not going to have any new revenue stream coming from updates. And that's when you have to wonder, will they do like a 2.0, or a new version?
Yeah, I think when we get to that point, it's going to be quite controversial. I think that's a few years off yet, though. But it's definitely going to be controversial when that happens. I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, we've got Minecraft 2, what's the point of it? What's going to be different? But do you think they're going to make a Minecraft movie?
Really? No.
They've made a Lego movie. That's got really good reviews and stuff.
You never know. I mean, if anyone thinks there's a chance to make money, I mean, if there's a game out there that's got these kind of numbers, a movie makes sense. Now, it should be noted that I believe, and this is off the top of my head, but wasn't Minecraft the number 4 all-time seller with Sims 2 as number 1, Sims 1 as the number 2 seller, World of Warcraft is number 3, and then Minecraft.
Yep.
And it was very, very close to possibly surpassing World of Warcraft. And if you factor in these console numbers, maybe it already does. So, I mean,
Crazy.
it's incredible. It's just incredible.
Mm.
I mean, Notch sitting there in his throne room, drinking wine, being fanned by scantily clad women, yelling, "More wine!" So, put that picture in your head. And
Oh god.
so, I mean, kudos to him. He seems like a real nice guy. So does Jeb and the rest of the guys there. So
Yeah.
I think Dinnerbone was a great addition to their coding group, coming from the Bucket group and a few others, obviously. But Dinnerbone is very, very outspoken on Twitter and everything else and Reddit. So you hear a lot from them. You don't hear as much from Notch anymore. I mean, when he tweets, it's usually never about Minecraft. So
Does he do much about Minecraft anymore?
I don't think he does anything except maybe he like plays it every once in a while. I think his biggest role right now is he just wants to try to experiment on new ideas and new technology and searching for maybe the next idea. But I don't think it's hit yet. He had that OX10C or whatever it was, spacey thing he was trying to do, and then he just said it isn't gonna work. It's not gonna be fun or whatever.
Yeah.
He dropped it.
Sometimes
could probably
people. I mean, go on.
No, I was going to say he could probably retire now.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes people have such a great idea. Sometimes people are one-hit wonders. Like, does he have it in
Are
him
you
to
just
have
calling
another
Notch
idea?
a one-hit wonder?
No, a fantastic, amazing one-hit wonder. But does he have it in him to get another game out? That's what I'm saying.
I think he has it in
They
Maybe.
need
him.
to.
I think his company and him have it in him to release games. They did Scrolls, and it's not a bad game.
Well, yeah,
They're not. I don't think they're going to be able to surpass Minecraft in sales.
yeah.
I think
don't.
No.
I think they peaked, but I still think they can do great stuff and interesting stuff. And if they stay in the indie realm and don't try to get too crazy with the ideas, and they stay away from all the DLC and pay to win and any of that type of stuff. I mean, I think they can continue to put out stuff. And I mean, I think with Scrolls, I think they said right off the bat, like the first couple weeks of sales were paid for the development and everything else of it. So it was already profitable. I don't think the game really sold well enough to be considered a hit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Scrolls is garbage. It's my opinion.
So, I think that they have the potential to do a lot of good. I mean, they've advanced the whole indie scene, which has helped other developers. And it's made the indie scene cool. They obviously have reached a peak that many in the indie scene will never achieve. I don't think any game, even though you've seen stuff like Meat Boy and Isaac, those things are popular, but they're not Minecraft popular. So who knows when we'll see the next true hit like this. We may not for a long time. But I think they can do a lot of good by helping other indie developers. They, Minecon
Oh, yeah.
bringing indies in,
Definitely.
publishing
Yeah.
maybe some of these indies.
I love that. Yeah, love seeing
Yeah.
indie stuff at Minecon.
Yeah, it was so good. So many people traveled so far just to do this, and obviously they knew, they're going to get all these people who like indie games to come, and yeah.
That's something I was going to say. I think we should try and catch up on some of those games that we saw that we liked and see how they're being developed
Yeah.
now.
Maybe we
Yeah.
could do that
Maybe
in the
that
next
could be- yeah.
podcast.
Maybe that could be a thing we look into and do talk about next week.
Yep, not a bad idea. Somebody keep
I
a
can do
mental note.
research if you
Somebody
want.
keep a mental note to Piper. Well, we'll put Piper in charge of it and make sure that for the next
That'd help.
podcast there's at least some info. If you reach out to these developers and talk about us meeting them and whatever, see if they're out of state. I have some cards and stuff too, depending on what you guys got. But we'll look into it. But let's go ahead and move
Yeah.
on now to crew news. And Giz, you want to talk theme server?
Okay. So, our theme server, last week was the Cruise City theme. So it was a massive city. Loved your guys' builds. The video will be out on Sunday. But the new theme is going to be pets.
Ooh.
So we've done wildlife before, and that was animals, sort of. But this is now like kind of pet animals. So like dogs and cats. So anything related to pets.
Should be interesting.
I can
And
just picture a whole world of rabbits.
I'm always so impressed with the dedication that some people really put into their builds, and like you see all the same people always on. It's always nice to see new people as well that come on and come on for the first time. And everyone always says welcome when a new person joins.
They do. That is very true.
Quick note: don't forget to do /set home when you're at your build.
The amount of times we've got to go around trying to find people's builds.
We should mention it in every recording now of the actual theme thing. Yeah.
I will say too, almost every theme build for the last, almost every one of them, we've had over 1,000 unique people come onto the server.
Wow.
Crazy.
Not
awesome.
all build. Some don't build, but most do. And I factor in like some who don't like to do a build of their own, but build with somebody else. So almost all of those 1,000 are trying to do something either on their own or with a group.
It's awesome.
It should just be noted too, and we'll probably touch on this a little bit in a later point here in this segment. If you trust someone, make sure you trust them. Because we have so many people who end up getting grief because they trust somebody and they try to mess with them. So be very careful giving out trust, and don't try to trust everyone. We've had one user or two who have done like a trust to all, and then anyone can come on your build and just start messing with it. And I guarantee you, out of that 1,000, there's some out there who just want to see the world burn. All right, so let's move on. Live stream mania has been going on. We've been live streaming probably 5 or 6 times a week. DayZ, Overwatch, Standalone, Team Fortress 2, Minecraft. You name it. We're going to continue to push and push and push to do that, just to keep some streaming going on and interacting with people. And in some cases, playing. We've had people join us in DayZ. We've had people join us in TF2. So that will continue on. And we're just going to continue to try to push it to see what we can do with it. We enjoy streaming, but we also enjoy making videos.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, I might be starting a single player Mo Creatures thing for a stream at some point. Let's keep a lookout for that.
So big thing that just happened today is we sent out the emails to our prospective mole players.
Woo!
Ooh.
Now, this was an email that went out to some of the people. We had 500 or so applications, give or take. We sifted through them all, which was quite a bit of work. It was myself, Piper, and Mario. And we chose a good number of people to bring back to talk to. Now, this doesn't mean these people are in the mole. These are potential. We want to interview them, talk with them, see how, their hardware works, good internet, do they sound okay and mumble, does their headset work well, blah, blah, blah. Just to see why they want to be in the mole and what they think they can add to the game. And then from that, we're going to then pick our players. It might be 12 players enter a game. It might be 10. We just have to decide. There will be a few crew in it. So it's going to be a mix of players. Mostly it's going to be fans. There won't be a lot of crew. So we're excited about it. If you didn't make it, then there's always Season 5 to apply. You have to remember, though, there's a lot of people who applied, and a lot of people had technical issues. Some people filled out the thing and were like, I can't do Mumble. Well, if you can't do Mumble, you can't even be in it. I don't have a headset. I have to use my laptop microphone that's built in. Any of that type of stuff is going to push you out of the running for this, because we want to try to do as best we can on the mole, especially me, because this is my baby, the mole. I love it. But we want the best quality we can get. And sometimes we have people who come in with horrible microphones and horrible quality, and it would ruin the series if we have to have you guys watch it and you'd be like, oh, this one dude, every time he talks I hear this fan in the background, or I hear it sounds like a jet. So people, check your emails. respond back so we can get you scheduled for the interviews and then get us one step closer to starting to record. But let's move on to our main segment. Now, this is an interesting subject for me, and partly because, being playing computer games and everything for as long as I have, there's a lot of games that fit in this category. But the question is basically just, should video games, be it PC or whatever, fall into the public domain at some point? Say when the companies that make them have gone under, the developers don't sell it anymore, there's no avenues. Should it be okay for people like websites to host what people like to call abandonware? In a sense, a lot of people look at this like video games are like books, they're like art, and you want to preserve it. And, it's different if you have a painting and somebody wants to protect that painting in a museum. A video game is bits and bytes, magnetic media, which degrades. Things bit rot is like a term, and it's gone. It's gone. There's no coming back. So, should there be public domain for video games to keep them from dying out and being lost to the world?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just a question of, depending on like the newer ones, when do they fit? When do they become eligible to? But the older ones, I think definitely, because it is art in a way. It is. It's not a picture like you say, or like a beautiful flower or something. But it's like it's new art. It's new age art. Like looking at the older games, like the old DOS games and stuff that people have played. Like it's the evolution. We need to preserve the evolution of gaming because it's an important thing to a lot of people. It's an important thing to us, isn't it? Really, it's an important people to the gaming community that these older things get preserved, and obviously, as time goes on, we want to then preserve other things.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of people developers who get very upset about this because in some cases maybe they own the IP or the rights to these games. They have no inclination to sell them anymore, but they don't want anyone else to distribute them. And a lot of these developers, like say games that came out when I was a kid on my Atari 800 or on the Commodore 64, the Amigas, the Atari STs, the early DOS stuff. A lot of these companies are gone, and these games, the source code, the discs are long gone or degraded or have been thrown out, and they're going to just disappear. And there's a lot of groups who like to try to take their originals and copy them and then put them on the internet and keep them in a permanent site or sites so that they hang around. But developers are very upset about this in some cases because they look at this as you're taking food out of their mouths. Even though there may not be any more sales of these, you still have that issue of copyright and trademark protection and all those types of deals. So there is no agreed upon way of doing this, and a lot of people really are worried because a lot of those games that came out in the late 70s and 80s and even the 90s are going to be lost.
Well, it's the same for books, isn't it? There's copyright on books. You can't, put them online or unless they've got permission to. But I think I've forgotten what it is. Is it 80 years after the author dies or something? Then it's put the copyrights, not there anymore, and it can go in public domain. Or it's something like 50 years. I can't remember now. But there's a time period. Maybe games could do that, or is it the fact that games are going to age so much anyway, very quickly because of like new graphics and different, we've got Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4 is on its way. Are people really going to buy the Sims number 1 anymore, and should that be put on public domain now? I mean, I don't know. When is the cutoff day?
I mean, you'll see companies like Rockstar put up GTA 1 and GTA 2 for their fans to download.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes companies will put their older games up. And hopefully something can be done about this because I do believe that these games are part of history. They are art. I mean, anything that somebody takes the time to work on and make or do and especially something that can entertain thousands or hundreds of thousands, I think it deserves to be kept. And there's hopefully we can maybe see maybe some groups, like maybe a company like say like a Google or an Amazon or somebody will maybe start something where they start to really truly create a true archive for things, where that companies then know that, okay, this company's reputable, we can trust them, and they're going to keep track of this stuff for us. They're hosting these files, this data, and it's just not me letting Gizmo put this stuff up on his site and I have to worry, well, is he going to start selling my stuff? It gets further complicated by companies like GOG, who go out and try to get these older games and fix them for current technology and then sell them. You know, that is a great way for then these old companies to still make money. And I love GOG, and I think that's great, but that's what some of these developers and publishers scream is, by you doing this, putting these things up on abandonware sites, you're taking the ability away for a company like GOG to rebrand it and sell it and make us money still.
Did something happen with the Fallout games on GOG?
I think somebody else got the rights to Fallout, didn't they? And they had to remove them because it doesn't fit in, I guess, with the grand scheme. But I mean, I think at some point there should be a time when a developer can say, a publisher, this game is reached the end of its life. We can't sell it anymore. We're not going to. It's just not profitable to try to make new product of this. Here it is. Just host it. Let the world be able to play it and see what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. I mean, I think this is a subject that a lot of people have opinions on, and obviously the developers and publishers have very strong opinions on it because it's them. And I don't think anyone would want anyone to take current games and host them. And I think you have to really start to go back, but I don't think normal copyright timeframes work for this realm. I think it needs to be a much shorter time frame. But anyway, deals of the week. Currently, Humble Bundle has a couple things going on right now. They have the Humble Sid Meier bundle. Now, this doesn't really thrill me. I'm not a Sid Meier fan because I don't really like Civilization because it's a strategy game. So, in this bundle, you can get Sid Meier's Civ 3 complete, Civ 4 complete, Sid Meier's Ace Patrol, Sid Meier's Ace Patrol's Pacific Skies, and Sid Meier's Railroad. Now, if you pay more than $8.81, you can also get Civ 5 and Civ 5 Gods and Kings DLC. If you pay more than $15, you can also get Civ 5's Brave New World DLC. So you have some options. If you bid $1 or more, you'll get those first 5. If you pay more than $8.81, you get the Civ 5 stuff, and more than $15 gets you that Brave New World for Civ 5. Any of you guys play any of these? Have any real feedback on them?
I haven't played any of them, and I love Civilization 2, but I've not branched out in any of the others yet. And I do own, I think, Civ 4 and Civ 5, but I just haven't, played them. I haven't spent the time to learn it yet. But yeah, awesome games.
Yeah, I played Civ 2. I liked it. I know Extra's a big Civ fan.
Yeah.
I haven't
This
played any of
Railroad one,
these.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're interested in strategy games, I know the Civ series is quite popular with a large number of people. Sid Meier is considered, one of the best at this genre. Not a genre that I can give much detail on because I just don't like this genre. But these are big titles, so lots of good options there if you're interested. And you can get them on Steam, or you can download. I think a few are Mac compatible. You can play Civ 4 complete on the Mac. Civ 5, both of the $8.81 Civ 5s and the $15 Civ 5s are all Mac. All of it's redeemable on Steam. All of it works on Windows. So Macs, you have a little less options, but still some options. Also, the Humble Weekly sale has just started, and this will be going on for a few more days after this episode airs. Currently, it's a Double Fine weekly sale. So you can get Psychonauts, which works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. You can get Costume Quest, which works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. You can get Stacking, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Those are all for probably the minimum dollar bid. As soon as you go over $6, you can get Brutal Legend, which is it's a pretty fun game itself. Windows, Mac, Linux on that. And if you pay more than $16.74, you can have early access to Space Base DF9, which is a game that's obviously being in development currently. Double Fine, great company. This is Tim Schafer, Mr. LucasArts for a while, Monkey Island, Full Throttle, all that type of stuff. Funny guy, legend in the industry. Psychonauts is an awesome game. Costume Quest is really popular. Haven't paid Stacking. Brutal Legend is fun and funny. And I haven't really looked at the Space Base, but looks interesting. So this is a great deal.
Stacking looks really cute.
Great deal. There's some soundtracks involved, obviously, also for some of these games. Brutal Legend's got I'm sure, a great one. But all of these things, great titles, great company. All right, so those are some great options for deals of the week and some other stuff. But we're going to deal with some questions now at the very end here. Now, we have a couple questions that we're going to touch on. And if you have questions for us, and we would love your questions, description of the video has a link to a form. Fill out, send us your question. You can also do it as a video or an audio question. You just need to give us a link to the video or the audio file in question. We love those. Sadly, these are not.
Aww.
So the first question, and we get asked this every once in a while, comes from Sheila. And Sheila says, me and a couple of my friends are wanting to make a gaming channel, but we have no idea where to start. Any advice for people wanting to start their own channel? What do you guys think?
Do it with good people and people with.
And I think a big thing as well is make sure your settings, like recording wise, like audio and stuff, is good. Audio with your friends as well is good. So like no background noise. Make sure you're not too loud, not too quiet. You can all be heard well.
Otherwise, you will get 50 comments.
Yeah, I always make sure to try and do a quick test recording before I do any recordings to make sure my audio is decent.
Be interactive with people as well.
Well, I mean, I think first off, before you even do any of that stuff, you have to be realistic about what your goal is. If you're trying to be the next Yogscast, you're not. I mean, it's very rare. I mean, we're tiny in the grand scheme of things. We're not Yogscast big. So don't set out thinking that you're going to get rich or you're going to be famous. So do it because you love the games that you're going to make videos of and you enjoy playing with the people that you're playing with. Because in your case, you're saying some friends or you are going to try to do it. So make sure that you enjoy playing with the people you're playing with and their games that you enjoy playing. But have that be your goal, is that you're going to put out videos that show that. Because more than likely, it's going to be very tough to crack the YouTube viewerships and get, thousands of subscribers and continually grow. So you got to be very happy just knowing the fact that you're having fun. I know a lot of people really get hung up when they start a channel. They want to try to get followers and subscribers, and they try everything they can to do that. And then they consider it a failure if they don't. And it's really hard to do that, especially nowadays because there's so many YouTube channels. Everybody, has started them. So you really just got to enjoy playing the games and making the videos. And if you and your friends are watching it, and some of your friends that maybe aren't playing but are friends of all your guys are watching it, if you're happy with that, then continue to do it. But it is tough to go further with it. And a lot of people get hung up on that. And it can be very frustrating. But if you are going to then continue to do it and you do want to try to crack the outside friends base, getting past people who know you, like Giz is saying, you need to have decent quality hardware. Because if your buddies might put up with it, but random people won't. And they'll be very unkind to you and say why they think your videos suck. But if it's just you and your buddies and you're doing it to have fun, I mean, just play the games you like, play with the friends you like, and if the quality's not the greatest, the quality's not the greatest. But you have to start somewhere. And I think the best thing is just to start off with the right expectations, not thinking that you're going to become the Yogscast, because that's not easy to do. But good luck.
Yep, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Hope it goes well for you.
All right, so we get asked this question quite a lot, but I figured, what the heck? We haven't talked a lot about TV lately.
Oh
So
yeah.
Sean Spencer wants to know, what is your favorite TV show? So I think maybe there should be two answers here for this. Is maybe like your all-time favorite show, and maybe what's your current show that's actually airing new episodes. So let's start with you guys.
Does that include like if it's on hiatus at the minute, but it's still airing?
Well, I mean, like if it's a show that's the season's ended but it's coming back, then I would say it's okay. But if it's a show that's canceled, then I think it would have to fall into your favorite of all time.
Okay. Well, easily for me, Lost is probably one of my all-time favorite shows. I know a lot of people say the ending of it wasn't the greatest, but I actually really love the ending, and I cried like a baby. I Lost for me, the 6 years that Lost was on, pretty much, like every time it was coming on, I was so excited. Like the discussions of it that you could have online and like with people, it was so popular. A lot of people watched it, and it was nice to have discussions about it. But also just the story as well. I love the story, the mystery of the island, and the characters. Oh, I just fell in love with the characters. Like John Locke, I was obsessed with John Locke. Um, Maybe I may have had him as my display picture, and he may have almost been my Minecraft character. But Matt Smith took that. As for current, there are a lot of
Gotta
current
pick one.
shows that
Gotta
I
pick
watch. It, it's changing for me. It changes every time I watch a show, but it probably would be Doctor Who, just because it's such variety in it. And I'm so excited for it to be coming back at it's a fair few months until it comes back, but it's just finished. But with Peter Capaldi taking over the role of the Doctor, I'm so excited to see what he's going to bring to it, and how the show's going to change now, with there being a new Doctor.
Okay, Mario.
My favourite TV show is definitely 100% The Shield, which is not Agents of Shield, that Marvel thing that I haven't watched at all. The Shield is, a few years old.
That's Michael Chiklis, wasn't it?
Yeah. Michael Chiklis is awesome. That whole series was great, and the ending was really good, I felt.
Okay, what about a current show?
My favourite current show that's still going would have to be Supernatural. I'm a bit behind, but that's definitely my favourite current one.
Okay. Pepper Bunny.
My favorite show of all time would have to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know everybody thinks that's predictable, but
I thought you were going to say Firefly.
I grew up with it. No, Buffy's still my number one. Firefly and Veronica Mars are very close, but Buffy is, well, maybe Star Trek as well. But Buffy is my I just grew up with it, so yeah.
Okay, what about current favorite show?
I haven't watched many current favorite shows, to be honest, because I'm on a complete Star Trek rewatch at the moment. But there is one that I do watch every week, and it's probably quite unknown, I think. I mean, it definitely is in the UK. I don't think it's even been shown in the UK. But it's called Switched at Birth, and it was like it was just mentioned, oh, this is a new TV show coming. This was they're on their third season now, and I thought, oh, okay, that's different. And obviously, it's like two girls get switched at birth, and then but there's a whole community which is built from this show now because one of the girls is deaf, and
What?
huh?
Sorry.
I find like languages amazing, and to be able to speak with your hands, it just blew my mind watching the show. And there's a whole community, like a deaf community now, and it's amazing how interactive the stars are of the show with people watching as well. And I mean, it's just like a family drama, really, but you grow to love these characters, and I just wish I could sign language. I've got really interested in it, and if classes weren't as expensive as what they are, I probably would have like taken it up by now. But obviously they sign like ASL, and over here we have BSL, so American Sign Language, British Sign Language. But my housemate does a variation because she works with children with special needs. So she does Makaton, which is like similar but slightly different. So she's been teaching me a few things, but it's really like opened my mind to it, and yeah, it's quite interesting. Belbus.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, when it comes to favorite show of all time,
Buffy?
no. Buffy's
Oh,
okay.
come on. You will know what he's going to say.
What am I going to say?
Star Trek.
Nope.
No.
No. I mean, my show goes back before your guys' time. I think one of the best TV shows ever was MASH. It was just a very good drama and comedy, dramedy. Awesome show. Now, if I had to be like pressed to pick something a little bit more recent that maybe some of our fans would know more of, I'd probably have to go with Breaking Bad.
Hey!
Ooh!
Hey!
I would love to. I told the wife. I said, we should, like, when Lizzie gets dressed up for trick or treating, we should go as Walt and Jesse. And I want to be
Yes.
Jesse, and I want
Do
to
it.
and I want to go to every house, and I want to say, "Where's my candy?" And then use the B word.
Yes. Please record that. Please.
Yeah,
Please, that will go
video
viral.
or
That will go
photo,
viral.
that'd be hilarious.
So, but that would be if I was to have to pick a newer show. But I still think
Wait.
MASH is
Hang on.
ultimate. Now, that's not my pick for a current show that's airing.
Does that mean Mrs. Buzz would have like a wig thing?
She'd have to have a goatee thing there.
Like a bald cap for like a wig and then wear the hat.
Well, she could wear the orange. She could wear the orange, like the suit thing that covers everything except the face, and just do the goatee. But Jesse's so noted for saying, "Where's my money?"
Yeah.
And then the B word. I would want it to
Yeah.
be, "Where's my candy?" Though
Oh, God.
people would probably look at us like in complete confusion. But and as for a current TV show, it's tough. I mean, I don't have. I'd have to say maybe The Blacklist. I think is
Yay.
right now my favorite current airing show. That would probably be my pick. I don't really watch a lot of stuff, but I think The Blacklist. I just think James Spader is awesome in this role.
Mm.
So if you haven't checked out Blacklist, I definitely encourage people to look at it.
Sleepy
Alright.
Hollow as well.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on that one yet. I still have shows to watch, but Blacklist, whenever it's on, I always watch it. But with that, guys, I think we have wrapped up episode 32 of the Crewcast. If you want to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Lol.
Thanks for watching the Crewcast. We hope you tune in again next time. Compass.